Health. And today we're talking about, well, first off, do your symptoms get worse around the full moon? Do you notice? Do you have symptoms like allergies or food sensitivities, insomnia, uh, anything like constipation, anxiety is a big one? Are these things worse around the full moon? Do you notice? Well, if you don't, maybe you'll pay attention now going forward. Okay, so today, if you didn't catch on, we are talking about parasites. And I have a quote to share with you. For those that are on Facebook, everything other than Instagram, I will put it up on the screen. For everyone else, then you will have to. So, how prevalent are parasites? All right. Parasitic infections cause a tremendous amount of burden of disease in both the tropics and subtropics, as well as in more temperate climates. Of all the parasitic diseases, malaria causes the most deaths globally. Malaria kills more than 400,000 people each year, most of them young children in sub-Saharan Africa. And the next part of that is kind of important, saying, however, parasitic infections also affect persons living in developed countries, including the United States, and it doesn't say that there, but including Canada. All right. So, what is a parasite? Let's start with that. What is a parasite? It's basically a pathogen that lives on another organism. So they're the roommate that you never asked for. Essentially, they steal your food. They are toxic, and they can hang around for a long, long time. There are three main types. I probably won't get into the crazy detail about it, but they can basically be microscopic in size, and they can go up to being the size of like a staple, all the way up to 12 inches and even 20 to 30 feet. They can also live for 20 plus years in your body, which is pretty incredible to hear and crazy. The roommate, yeah. Where in the body can they be found? They can be found in any part of the body. They can live inside your cells, in between your cells. They can be in your brain, heart, intestine. They can be in your lungs, your joints, eyes, nose, ears, all your muscles. Very gross where they can be. I know it's gross. They can obstruct the functions in your body. Like they can block valves, they can clog your bile ducts, which is connected to your liver, which is very important for moving waste out of our system. And some can actually move throughout your body. Some like to move between the liver and the gallbladder. They can move back and forth between those, and they can move around otherwise as well. And I know this is really gross to hear. I know it's extremely gross, but it's very important information to know so we can get to a better place in health. If you're not aware of something, you can't do anything about it. So this is why I'm sharing this information today. And where did they come from? They come from eating rare and uncooked meat, unfortunately. And I'm a big steak lover, and I like it more on the medium side. So it's just a price you have to bear. You just know that they're in the environment, and you just have to handle them. They can also be in poke bowls as well. And if you have pets, you're likely going to have parasites. If you have pets, dogs, cats, if you have horses, ferrets, whatever it is, they have parasites. We have treatments for them to deal with parasites. And why are we not handling it ourselves? It doesn't make sense that we don't take care of our bodies when it comes to parasites as well. If you've been traveling, you're likely to be exposed to different things, and that's when parasites can come up as well. Fruits, produce, fruits and vegetables. If you're walking barefoot outside, if you like to walk on the beach or even in your backyard, our barefoots are a prime place for them to get into our system. Animal and human feces, and they're in a water supply, if you believe it or not, and also the soil. What about for vegetarians? Well, as I mentioned, plants and produce. are another source. They're in everywhere. They're in the air. You can breathe them in. So everyone is susceptible to parasites. And I started off with some of the symptoms that you could be experiencing as a result of the full moon being worse. And the full moon actually is Sunday, February 5th, which is very soon. And if you're noticing symptoms right now that you normally have, maybe you're not aware of the symptoms you have even. And there are a plethora of symptoms that you can experience, from abdominal pain, discomfort, anxiety, constipation. You could have gas, teeth grinding. Teeth grinding is a big one that I've had in the past and been told about how that's been going on. You may have gone to the dentist and they might tell you need a mouth guard, and parasites are the reason for the teeth grinding. Allergies, arthritis, bloating, diarrhea, headaches. It just kind of goes on. Anemia, food sensitivities, insomnia, skin rashes, and irritation, stuff like that. There's so many things that they can be responsible for. It's just crazy. I worked in retail for a long time, definitely experienced a difference in customers on a full moon. Absolutely. Anyone who who works in the emergency services, in the hospitals. I used to work for a vet years ago, and it was something that was talked about as far as, all right, full moon's here. People are going to be acting a little more crazy. Something's going on. And yes, moody, exactly. There is a huge difference when it comes to the full moon taking place. So what are parasites doing? They eat your nutrients. They release toxins inside of you, which can cause the bloating if you're experiencing that. They also eat your neurotransmitters, which can affect the communication inside your body. This can lead to brain fog, definitely not frog, memory issues, anxiety, and they also deplete your minerals, which again can affect anxiety too. What impacts parasites have in our body? What impacts parasites in our body, rather. And this is why we're talking about the full moon. They are way more active around the full moon. The full moon has an energetic effect on us, as well as we know that it affects water and the tides. And parasites are mostly water, and that's why they are also affected. So when they are affected and they're inside us, they are going to affect us directly. They are more active at night. So maybe if you have cravings for sugary things, sweet things, this is when this can happen. And even more so around the full moon, because they're just having their party and they're ready to consume all the sugary things they can. Pardon me. Going back on the full moon, we produce more serotonin, which is our feel-good hormone, and less melatonin, and that helps with sleep in your immune system. So when your system has lower melatonin, your immune system doesn't fend off the parasites as well. So this is where this can be a thing around the full moon. We are affected by that. So it's kind of an opening for them to kind of plague us with our symptoms, if you will. Sugar, as I mentioned, they crave sugar. And if you consume more sugar, this causes them to be more active and can increase your symptoms as well. Increased sugar and carbs with parasites can cause nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, headaches, stomach aches. These are just things to be aware of. If you don't know about it already, these are just things to be aware of and pay attention to. Just pay attention normally every day. But when the full moon comes around, just take notice and see if things get worse for yourself. There are medical ways of diagnosing parasites. They have a few different ways, from a fecal or stool sample. And I know of another practitioner who actually, their clients sent in a fecal sample and placed on top of the sample a parasite. They sent it off to the lab and the results came back. What would you guess? The results came back negative. The parasite was on top and the results still came back negative, which is just mind-blowing, because they're just clearly not looking for it, don't want to report it, or whatever the case is. It's just crazy. So there's an endoscopy where they put a camera down your throat to look for parasites. There can be a colonoscopy where they go up the other end. Blood tests, imaging. There's so many different ways. And Parasites can actually be the cause of lesions in organs as well. And with all these tests that they have to look for parasites, how often are they missed on medical tests? They are missed all the time, all the time. And why are they missed? And as I kind of touched on already, they're hard to see in the feces. Yep. And the problem there is if they're not in your feces, they're living in your tissues, they're never going to find them in that test. They can be misdiagnosed for other things, including cancer, lesions in the lungs, brain, kidneys, liver, cysts in the kidneys, uterus, and ovaries, and masses in the testicles. These are things that are missed by the medical system, unfortunately. So that's crazy. Nope, didn't find anything. Yeah. The best way to test to see if you have parasites, basically take your 2 fingers and place it on your wrist or wherever is easiest to find a pulse, because if you have a pulse, you likely have parasites. How do we handle parasites? Basically, we want to find them, kill them off, and get them out of our system the most efficient way possible. Because if we're killing them off and not getting them out of our system, they're just going to cause more problems. And first off, we want to see if it is a problem for you. And this is where we can use our technology of quantum nutrition testing. And this is a way to find out what the cause of your symptoms are. Why are you experiencing whatever the symptom is? Why do you have those chronic headaches or the bloating or whatever it is? We want to find out why so we can get to the cause. We can get to the cause and then stop it from happening. And quantum nutrition testing is the way that we do this. We're able to find the cause of your symptoms through testing what's working in your body and what's not working in your body, and then find out why. So we basically take all that information when we've tested and we put it into a personalized program specific for you and what your body needs to get back into balance. And we currently have a special on for our initial client consult, which is normally $199, and this month is $135. So if you'd like to work with us, please go to our website and book your initial consult. It consists of 2 30-minute appointments. The first one, we go through the detailed history. We want to find out more and as much about you as we can so we can help you the best we can. We get a detailed history, family history, your occupation, because depending on where you work, maybe you have exposures to things there that maybe you are aware of, maybe you're not aware of. So we go on to look at that. We look at your dental history, if you've had any surgeries. Basically, anything that comes up, we'll dig into a little deeper just to see what you've been through in your life. In between appointments, we would test you from head to toe. We would test all your organs and glands to see what's going on there and any areas of concern that you might have. We would find out, again, what's working, what's not working, and we put that in a report, and we would send that to you before your second appointment. This is a report of findings, and that's what we call it. So we would send that to you. And then the second appointment, we would basically go through that report and review what we found, the cause and the supplementation that your body needs to get back into balance. So this appointment is basically all about giving you information, answering any of your questions, anything that comes up, and just going through all that and finding out what works best for you. So by the end of the appointment, we give you what the options are if you'd like to proceed with us, and then we just go from there. And that's kind of the gist. So I know parasites are extremely gross to hear about. Again, as I say, they are very important to know about and be aware of because they affect everyone's health so much. And it's just something that's not being talked about as much as it should be. And yeah, I think it's very important. So if you found this valuable at all, you think anyone out there could find value from it and it could be helpful for them, please share it with them. We really appreciate that, getting that information out there, because we want to help people be healthier and have healthier lives and be able to be healthier down the line so they can do all the things that they want to do, right? Or maybe do things that they weren't able to do before. So that's kind of everything I have. Thank you for listening. I'm Amanda Golightly with Align Natural Health, and have a great day.